If you are a reseller, this might pretty much be good news for you because Meta just unveiled 3 smart glasses. You see, you have the Ray-Ban display neural band. This is pretty much geared at tech enthusiasts, AI enthusiasts. I hear this thing is wide because this AR technology, it has the ability to actually display text on the field of view, which is going to be really, really wide. Of course, the Ray-Ban Gen 2 geared at lifestyle, usage. If you just want to use these glasses for your, going for thrifting. Before now, the GoPro was pretty much standard in the industry. People go to the thrift stores to try to get some new stuff. They want to go with their GoPro, the go sourcing, they kind of record everything going on. But then it was a little bit bulky, and wherever you come to, you pretty much see people taking a look at you. And a lot of us resellers weren't so comfortable with the fact that you walk up to somebody, you're trying to make a negotiation. The next thing the person sees that you have a camera pointing. And because of the privacy concerns, some sellers might not be so comfortable with the fact that you are actually you're recording them while they are trying to sell, stuffs in the flea market. And it was just a hassle to take this GoPro. But now the Ray-Ban Gen 2 pretty much geared at us resellers, everyday users, and the Oakley Vanguard, which is the third kind of smart glass that Meta has just released, geared at sports enthusiasts, fitness trainers, and stuff like that. Guys, it is huge. If you have not heard about this, pretty much you might be living under the rock. But that's not all. Of course, this has some benefit for us resellers, but the greater benefit, given that I sell electronics items on eBay, I sell used stuff, I also sell new stuff at some time. When news like this drop, it's always something big. The thing is, it's a known fact that when these tech giants kind of roll out these devices, they tend to, bring very few quantities to the market. The reasons why they do that is pretty much not far-fetched to create this kind of demand, and people do not mind paying a premium price just to lay their hands on it. As a matter of fact, the tech enthusiasts on YouTube, they will want to buy this thing at all costs. It doesn't matter. They might be ready to pay double the price. As a matter of fact, the Ray-Ban display neural band goes for 799 euros. I want to imagine that for a content creator or a tech enthusiast that just want to get first-hand information of exactly what these glasses can do, what this AR technology can actually do, they would not mind paying double the price just to get it, because if Meta is releasing this thing at very limited quantities, a lot of people want to lay their hands on it. And if you are a reseller, this might just be your time. Of course, this is not about price gouging. It is just pretty much demand and supply. If you are opportune to get this, Ray-Ban display neural band for $799, you can easily go ahead and flip it for double the price, especially in regions outside the US. Of course, the buyer in this case knows that this item is being sold for double the price, but I can tell you for free, some of these buyers are even going to tell you, thank you for bringing this item, for $1,000, $1,500 to the market, because I want it at all costs. I live outside the US. There's just no way for me to compete with the limited quantity that you have out there. And because the hype for these glasses is so high, people want to pay a premium for it. And this is where you come in as a reseller. If you can get these glasses, I do not know how it's going to be possible. This is the first true AR smart glasses to be released by Meta. And because of that, it's already a thing. People want to lay their hands on it. If the Apple products are hard to get, this is going to be double hard to get, but it's what it is. Some people have special influences, and if you can get these glasses delivered to you at $799, you're able to bring it to the market where the demand right now is at an all-time high. You are going to be making banks with it. Of course, if you are saying to yourself, no, the $799 seems to be a kind of a high price, kind of a delicate area to roll with, because you might end up buying it and something happens during transportation, glasses are destroyed. You do not want to roll in that waters. The mid-tier glass, the Oakley Meta Vanguard, which goes for $499, might be pretty much what you might want to consider. But the beautiful news is that this is not dropping right now, but the hype is already high. It's going to be released on the 21st of October in the US and in Canada. So for those of us that live in Germany, and we want to get a feel of these glasses, people in Germany will be willing to pay a premium for this. And if you are a smart reseller, you are in the US or in Canada, this might just be your opportunity. Get hold of these glasses and you can easily bring it to the market and flip it for double the price. Of course, I do not think, in my humble opinion, that you are doing anything wrong, because you are actually, rendering a major service, to the people that are interested in buying these glasses. If you can go through the hassle of getting this thing, of course, that you live in the US or Canada doesn't mean that it's going to be an easy ride for you to lay your hands on these glasses. But once again, if you have the special influence, you are able to wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning on the day of launch to stay in a queue that might be as long as 3,000 or 5,000 people waiting to get their hands on these glasses. And you get it and you're able to do the logistic right to send it to other regions in Europe, all over the world. You are going to be able to make banks with it. Are you going to be able to pull it off in large quantities? I might not be able to tell. Everything depends on your network and how easy you are able to get this glass. Of course, the demand is there. There are a lot of fitness trainers. There are athletes waiting to lay their hands on this particular glasses just to up their game. You do not have to struggle with demand. As a matter of fact, if you even get hold of this glass and you want to resell it, you don't even have to worry about how good the listing is. The only thing you have to do is just to make a photo and write that it's new, it has not been used, or it has been opened from the box, but the item and all its accessories are still very much intact. You are going to sell it before you say jack. You list it today, I believe you're going to sell it also the same. Of course, if this item is going to be sold for $499 at launch, that doesn't mean that you should go ahead and ask for $5,000 for it or 5,000 euros. You also have to do your homework properly as not to get, into trouble from the buyers that will be taking a look at your listing. And then lastly, the Ray-Ban Meta Gen 2, which is pretty much geared towards everyday users, students, content creators, resellers, people going to the feed to just gather a little bit of data here and there. This flip is not so interesting, as at launch it starts at $379. Of course, the fact that it has also been released in different parts of the US, in the UK, and parts of Europe also make the flip not so interesting. But once again, it's also not easy to get, and because of that, if you can lay your hands on it, you can actually still do your homework and see how you can benefit from this. Beautiful thing is that the demand is there. Everyday users might want to get this, might not be able to lay their hands on the $799 version or the $499 OK Meta Vanguard, but for $379, I want to imagine that a greater number of people will be willing to pay, say $100, $200 more just to be able to get it. Of course, $379, don't forget, this is the price at launch. Believe me, when this thing hits the market, especially the used market, the price is going to be way, way, way more than this because the demand right now is crazy. People want to see what these glasses can do. People want to see how Meta has been able to integrate AI into a smart glass, and this is the latest technology right now. It is always like that. Whenever anything drops, people want to take advantage of it. They want to see how they can benefit from it. If you are sitting down right now thinking to yourself, I do not think I want to be part of this. I do not think I want to, buy an item and inflate the price. Guys, even the big markets, the big shops, this is all they do all day long. Of course, you are going to see it from the perspective that you are actually rendering a very, important service for somebody that cannot seem to lay his hands on these glasses. I want to imagine that if you go onto the big marketplaces, say eBay, Amazon, it might even be difficult, to get those glasses there. I haven't searched for it. I haven't even taken a look if people haven't already started listing these glasses there. But then if you have a website like a Shopify shop where you can easily create this listing, this will go a long way to helping you come to the market, be part of the first people that's going to bring this item to the market and ensure that people all over the world that cannot seem to get their hands on this item at first launch will be able to buy from you. That's a major service. In fact, that is what we do all day long as resellers. Some of us go to the thrift stores, to buy an item, say this Bluetooth controller right here. Of course, we bring it to our warehouses, we clean them up and try to resell it. The buyers of this item, they understand that we are making a profit from this transaction, but they do not have the time to go to the thrift store to begin to, hassle for these things. People are going to call you names for simply doing that, but a long time ago, I used to give a damn about what people say, but right now, I see it as a major service. If you have the time, the energy, the cost to actually go and bring these items from a point A, you do deserve the right to charge something extra in the form of profit and resell it for somebody else. If you are a reseller out there, this might be a very, very big opportunity for you. But then it doesn't end yet. The demand for these glasses is going to be on even for a long time. So next year, if you cannot even play the game of trying to buy these glasses at launch and trying to resell them, you can just take a chill, wait a few months. These glasses is naturally going to trickle down into the secondary market where people are going to be able to buy them, you know, off big organizations. Sometimes these tech YouTubers, they buy these glasses just to review them and then they want to resell it. You are definitely going to be able to lay your hands on any of these glasses and you are ultimately going to be able to resell them even in the coming year and beyond. That is the latest technology in town right now. People are going to continue, you know, to demand them. But the only thing I warn you, watch how you buy, because if you buy it so expensive, thinking that you can go ahead and even triple the price, you might be sorry, because it doesn't always work like that. People also have a limit to which they can pay for stuff like this. If you try to sell it very, very expensively, you might be sorry to realize that the market is what it is. Sometimes, even though the market wants something at all costs, there is also a limit to which they can actually pay. And if you have bought, like, say, 100 pieces of this, thinking you can make a bank doing them, you might be disappointed. But guys, let me know what you think. Go to the comment section. Let me know what you think. Is this a game you want to play, or is this a game you are already playing? Until I see you again in the next video, peace.